Welcome, football fans, to the birthplace of America, the city of brotherly love. The place where you'll find the best cheesesteak made in this country and some of the best football played inside of Lincoln Financial Field. Hello all, Kate Scott up here in the booth, and joining me as always, my partner, Brock Heward. All right, Brock, everyone hoping we see a competitive contest here, and both teams feel they can provide that.
Yeah, this should be a good one. I mean, just stack these two teams up. We've all done our homework. They've done a lot more practice time and film watching and everything else. But by all accounts, the numbers will tell you, the talent will tell you, we're going to have a competitive chess match, and I can't wait to watch it.
And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game.
Bring it home, boys. We got this.
So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10.
Ready. Come on. Stand back. Green, triple team.
First play is to the air. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. It looks like he came down on that sideline. Second down coming up.
You know, I love this, Kate, from an offense. Just philosophically, stretching that secondary out with your tight end. Even still, one of the deeper targets you're going to see him get. It's a shame they couldn't quite connect.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Winston looking to throw. He throws a bullet down the right side. They connect on the deep shot. It's a 30-yard play, Brock, and they've got a fresh set of downs. Throwing is Winston. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Ready.
Now for the first time, they turn to the rookie from Texas. And finally, they bring him down. He shook off a couple of defenders there on a nice pickup. Going ground game again here. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Eagles take a 6-0 lead on their opening drive. For the offense, you gotta love it, Brock. Points to begin the game as he runs it in for an opening drive touchdown.
And you've got one very happy running back right over there on the sideline right now. These backs, they do feel the pressure to find the end zone every single week. It's not easy to do. But to do it this early and get out of the way, big time.
The uprights.
That one splits the uprights. And the Eagles return to a 7-0 lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Allen on the play action. It's his running back. And he'll get it up to the 44. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he'll knife his way through for a pickup of 4.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get games like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
From the 37. He just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
That's completed right side. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. He picks up 15 on the play. And it'll be 1st down, Miami. Operating from the gun, it's Allen. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Looking for Justin Jefferson on that throw. And it sets up 2nd down.
Timing is everything in life, and timing is everything defensively. That throw was just a little bit late and gave the defense time to close, deliver a pop, and knock that ball loose.
That's him on the quick hitter. And he gets this forward to the 19.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Come on! Stop them! Goal line! Stop them! That's the play, dude! All right, D, it's all right, D. Let's get that ball.
We're back to the 2nd quarter. Dolphins in a real good spot to score. Allen on 3rd down. That one's incomplete in the end zone. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And that brings up 4th and long. One of the league's elder statesmen knocks it through. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team is out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Green, triple T. Ready.
Throwing now from the gun. Catch is made down the right sideline. It's a 30-yard play, Brock, and they've got a fresh set of downs. Big play gets him across midfield, sets him up 1st and 10 from the 40. The shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Working quickly here. Back to the well again. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Winston to throw it. When you reach the status that he has around the league, Gronk, well, we all, at this point, expect him to be making plays like this when he's targeted down near the end zone.
Yeah, I think the best thing to say about this dude is he makes a lot of plays.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Johnson now on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. Bucks ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now Allen. Dumps it off to his right. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
It's the 2-minute warning now from the lake. The Dolphins with a lot of ground between where they are now and where they need to go. 2nd and 3 now. From the 31. He's got his man. That's Travis Kelce. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I'm sure, Coach, the play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10. Here's Allen. Throwing the out route complete. And he'll go out of bounds after a pickup inside the opposing 40. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, it's a big boy throw. It's a differentiator. I mean, that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately, well, that was teaching tape right there.
Looking for Travis Kelce that time. So it's 2nd down coming up. Again, Allen to the air. He's throwing deep to the left side. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Eagles get the football on the 1st turnover of the contest. I don't know what to be impressed by most, Brock. How effortless he made it look to throw it that deep.
On the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from Tampa. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. In motion, right goes Johnson. Right to the air goes Nix. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one.
I've heard of quick strike offenses, but this is taking that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game, but not here. They come out attacking from the outset, and it pays off in a big way.
And his throw here's incomplete.
I'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now a 2nd and 10. Nix to the air. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. From 21 yards away. And the Bucs need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Allen off the play fake. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Oh, I think he's got it. He does. A diving grab by Green. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. A give to Smith out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Allen. Toward the sideline, intercepted. And bulldozing his way through. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field,
Well, to the locals, it's still and will always be Heinz Field. But for the rest of us, we're along the North Shore of the Allegheny and Ohio Rivers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Welcome in, everyone. Kate Scott, Brock Hewitt on the call for you for this one. And I'm sure a lot of people in attendance and watching from home, Brock, they've already got the winner made up in their mind. But I'll tell you one thing, we've got a sideline down there ready to dispel that eye test.
Well, all that talk before the game is just that. Talk. You can look at past performance. You can look at metrics. You can spin any numbers you want. But we're about ready to kick this thing off. And from there, it's anybody's game.
And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. The Steelers calling their first timeout. And after using an early one, 2 left for him to spend. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Now to the running back. Wow, lots of room on the first snap. And they'll finally get him at the 47-yard line. That play good for 17 and a first down.
You know, the elite running backs in this league, they don't just see what's right in front of them. You set up big runs like this because they see what's behind them. That's called extraordinary vision and extra yards.
First down throw for Allen. That's Jefferson. He's got it. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. Third and short in your back pocket, you get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make third down easier to handle instead? Did the exact opposite here, Kate. Now makes this third down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They'll throw on third and long. Flushed into the pocket. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he has it down to the 30 before going out. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Allen now on first down. For big yards on the right side. And able to get this down to the 15 before going out. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to give the Dolphins a first down. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he works his way for a gain of 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Looking from the gun, it's Allen. This throw is caught. And that's a huge hit there, but he's still able to power through enough for a first and goal.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
His drive has been excellent. A few shots now, it's starting with 6 as they come up on it, first and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And he's brought down by a collective effort there, only 1 yard on the carry.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on first and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on second down.
Allen on the play action. The back grabs it. Touchdown, Miami. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
On now is Dixon to kick this one away. Johnson with a return here. He's stopped on the return to the 27.
Ready.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
On the field, offense. Come on.
Look at this, the wideout gets him to start this drive. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. We will not get another play in here. That's going to do it for quarter number 1. 7-0 is our score.
Come on.
More from Acrisure Stadium after the break.
Believe this. He's getting paid for it.
Are you kidding me? Really?
Do it.
Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They'll be set up 2nd and 7.
They can't stop us.
Go check. Go check.
They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Here's 2nd and 7. Buying some time right. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense is energized following that stick for a loss.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
They kick the running back in motion. Throwing on 3rd and long. Someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Dolphins take over after forcing the first turnover of this ballgame. All right, defense did its job. Forced the offense into a 3rd and long, and that, in large part, partner, led to that interception.
Such a dichotomy, Kate, in so many ways. Offensively, we hear all the time what? Stay on schedule, avoid these situations. Defensive coaches, you know what they say, earn the right to rush the passer, earn the right to make them one-dimensional, and when you do, go pay it off. And they did in the biggest of ways with that huge INT.
First down, ball at the 36. Back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Get this to Jefferson. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Giving that tackle to Kyle Van Noy.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Allen. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
I'm just going to say, maybe not the guy you want to pick on in coverage on this particular series. Gets a hand on that throw and knocks it away. The next time, well, he could get 2 hands on it and take it the other way.
So the Dolphins bringing out the field goal unit for a try here. He's got to drive this one 53 yards down the middle. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that will add to their score.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Returnable from near the end zone. And he doesn't make it far at all. They bottle up that return immediately.
Can't happen. Man, that's just something you never, ever see at this level. That's a complete failure of operation, not just by the returner, but the return team in general. And now, instead of getting to your normal offense, you got to find some way, somehow, to dig yourself out of this hole.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They've got a man in motion. Okay, the wide receiver's going to get it to begin the drive. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4. It's the 2-minute warning now from Acrisure. The Steelers pushing for a score before the break.
Make a play! All right! All day! That's how it's done!
Ready up.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4.
Lady. Get it. Lion. Dragon 60.
Throwing
Ready.
throwing from the gun here. Completed to his running back. He's going to go out of bounds up past the 15. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
All right, all set up now. First and 10.
Buffalo 18. Panther 11. Panther 11.
Score these guys, man.
Seven Pirates. Seven Pirates.
They'll try and throw it here. Buying some time left. Throwing on the run. Deep down the left side. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. So second down coming up.
You know, sometimes when you get outside that pocket and your body weight gets going laterally, that ball will sail on you. I mean, that's a tough connection to make even under the best of circumstances.
Ready. Mustang 19. 19 Lions. Cub 19. Cub 19.
Throwing it again on second down. He's trying another one deep. Really pushing the envelope on second down, but the deep shot doesn't work.
I'll tell you this, Kate, they doubled him knowing that was where the pass was likely headed. That's doing your homework. A bit surprising QB still threw it in that direction with how well the defense had that one covered.
Those chains. Keep it moving.
They're going to throw it on third ball. Rolling left, buying some time. Looking for his wide receiver there. So that brings up fourth and long.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
He's got it at the 24. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Got every single bit of that one, didn't he? Over 70 yards on the punt. And it'll be Dolphins football. First and 10 now from the 30. Allen setting up play action. Gets his running back. And he takes a shot near the marker, but it looks like he still has enough for that first down. Now the Dolphins call a timeout. It's their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that first. Operating from the gun, it's Allen. Defender runs right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Bronk, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
Back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And not a lot of space to work. He's brought down at the 45. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Allen on 3rd down. Isn't holding out. They're able to drop it. The Steelers use their 3rd and final timeout. So 4th down, big-legged Michael Dixon out to punt. And this will be his first effort of the contest. Starts his return from the 23. And a nice return out of him. They have it a little further up, past their own 30. Call that a punt of 47 yards. And the Steelers will take over possession. Ball at the 33 for first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll throw to begin this drive. Oh, he put some heat on this deep ball. Left side. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. He gets second down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Second and 10 now. He's looking deep once again. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's third down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. Fourth down coming up. The Steelers set to punt it. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. Absolutely crushed his first punch, and here's another huge one. And a big hit on the return to stop him cold. That punt goes unanswered, no return there. And they're going to take over possession. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. Turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. And he can only manage 1 yard. The defenders were at the ready to bring him down.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the third quarter. On now is Dixon to kick this one away. Johnson now on the return. And he gets crushed by a big hit right at the 25 to end that return. They'll get this drive started. First and 10.
Here we go. Set.
Throwing now, off play action. It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Ready.
Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And he's brought down across the 15 to about the 16-yard line. Couple yards there on second down, and now a long ways to go on third.
60 Bobcat. 60 Let's go.
He'll throw it. He fires one deep down the middle. And they really went for it on third down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing fourth down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So out now comes the punter. He's been hitting it well so far. This is another big one. He's got this at the 27. And the coverage team is there as he fields it. So almost nothing on that return before he stopped. Absolutely crushed that kick. A full 70-yard punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. First and 10 now from the 30. Plowing up the middle. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 9 yards. Looks like a first for a moment. It's second and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, it feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down mark.
They give it to him again. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
You know what I love about that play call? It was simple. Nobody overthinking on the sideline or out on the field. Just an offense going to work and moving those chains.
First and 10 from the 41. Back-to-back carries here. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Play action now, Allen. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. When we look back at this one, Brock, it is going to be defensive highlight after defensive highlight. And there again, the examples, they just keep coming.
The physical play has been the trademark. Really, from the first snap through this second half, there have not been many just uncontested, clean, efficient plays. Every effort's been answered. That's why that scoreboard's not been lit up.
And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And it'll be first down, Miami.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Gets the handoff. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Back to throw now, Allen. He's got Smith. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down. We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. It's Dolphins football. We'll see if they can close things out for a win.
Come on, Nicky!
Third and just 2 to go. Here's Allen. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play. Just loose, incomplete. Man, that was a chain mover if he would have held on, Brock, with the contact. Just too much to do so.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed in himself because you've got to make these contested catches, but I do give a lot of credit. An outstanding effort defensively to force that ball out.
And that one is good. A little longer, but no problem at all. And that one was hit great. It sails on through without incident.
Those 3 points could go a long way to securing this W. Makes it a lot more comfortable knowing the other side's got to score a couple touchdowns now. A touchdown to field goals, not going to get it done anymore.
And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. They're out and set, 1st and 10.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Henry gets it here to start the drive. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge already to midfield. Man in motion here. Stop for just 1 yard.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Breaks the tackle, green grass ahead, and he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. 6 yards to pick up there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4. They send a man in motion. They'll try and pick this up on the ground. And he's tackled with a first down yardage. That's good for 7 yards. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
Come on, Pittsburgh!
Show them what you got, Pittsburgh! Deputy!
Receiver gets it again. Man, they're keeping him busy. What a hit there. Ouch, she faced the punch for moving the chains that time.
every offense in the league today. They want a couple of guys on the roster capable of doing this. Plays from both spots. It's where the NFL's been heading for years. Great example on that play.
It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side.
Of us make it out, we
GG.
Feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
Putting a receiver in motion. And he pushes it further into the red zone, down inside the 15.
Get it.
3rd and a lone yard coming up.
Ball moving.
Another give to the wideout. Man, he has been busy. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. So it's a win for the visiting Dolphins. And a lot to be happy with on both sides of the football as they come away with a total team victory in this one.
You don't owe me now, but you
I'm top 102,
owe
dog.
the game.
That's it for all of us. On behalf of our crew and my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scotts. This has been another edition of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. The Dolphins, your winners, as we say so long from Pittsburgh. A city known for its incredible skyline, its nightlife and beaches, today centered around this venue, Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Hello, everybody. Alongside Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, let's dive right in. What are you looking forward to in this one?
Yeah, just about everything, Kate. But these are two
Behind Uzi Vert and JT them when they got into that little incident. So Jeezy, they have.
Oh, you talking about it hit with Jeezy? You talking about JT
Ice
and
Spice, Uzi Vert, and yeah. So I'm right.
Weekend, each and every Thursday and Sunday and Monday night, they come down to a couple plays. Who will they be? What will they be? When will they be? Tune in and watch.
The return manages to get just beyond the 30. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. And he found some running room for a nice gain.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
If I see my out of flat and y'all eating to me in the seat. So now they sitting him right next to me. This girl, you know what I'm saying? She was looking bad in the motherfucker right now.
Gotcha.
So I seen them that go off. So they bring Jeezy right next to me in the seat. So now they sitting him right next to me. So I seen like the hated. He like, man, I'm the trapper. I'm Mr. Trapper Dog. I got platinum. And y'all see me right next to it, fresh out of prison type. So he got so upset. I could see in his face. He spoke to me like, you know, he was mad. Like, how the fuck this nigga get here without me? That's crazy. Type shit. So from that moment, I said, damn, this nigga really a hater. Cause if I see who I started this with, who done did 17 years, who had the opportunity to tell on everything around him, but kept his micro, kept it solid, put 50 cash in my hand, I'ma embrace this. Like, we here.
Type shit. Like, you did that?
You doing this shit on your own, nigga, I gotta fuck with you.
Right.
Cause be saying, oh yeah, I'm willing to help him that's willing to help himself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you see a nigga that came all this far after serving damn near 20 in the pen with no handout, with nobody help. You supposed to be like, man, this nigga a real dog. I gotta fuck this nigga some kind of way. Instead, got So I said, this is what kind of time the homie on. So I'm seeing this shit now. So when I got ready to put out a song, guess what? We didn't clear the song to come out. So
he pulled an industry move. Cause
it's industry robbery.
Yeah, they'll take the money. It's called the brown bag thing. They'll take the money, act like they gonna fuck with you and not get it cleared.
So now I can't do nothing with the song.
But did you call them and be like, yo, what?
When I called him, the number was changed. So now I can't do nothing with the song. So I called his assistant. His little gay ass assistant I called his little gay ass assistant and said, like, what's going on with dog? Tell dog I'm still ain't nobody to play with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he already know, like, I don't play games.
Right.
I was laying on this shit like, now hopefully he do the right thing.
Right, because in your mind, you probably, because you got love for him, you probably still like, maybe, let me.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, fast forward in time, a lot of people in this camp was calling me like, hey, bro, you know, dog gonna be over here tonight. He gonna be here, pull up on him, man. You know what I'm saying? Get you straight about that shit. I'm like, nah, man, I ain't gonna do that shit.
Right.
I'm gonna just, you know, give it some time.
Right.
So time passed, and I got a call from my brother. He was like, man, this shit happened the other week. Like, bro, I'm at MCK, a nightclub type restaurant in Atlanta. So I'm like, all right. I'm pulling up. So Jeezy wasn't there when he was there though. So by the time I got there, my brother had already left. So I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I walk into MCK and goddamn long story short, I see Jeezy Ferrari parked in the back. I know he the only one in the city with his car. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, dog up in this bitch. So, you know, I'm still on some chill shit. It ain't even, you know, it ain't that. I ain't come here for no. Right. I ain't trying to get no clout, cause nigga, if I would've came in this bitch for clout, I would've had my cameraman right there on spot, slapping this shit out this and putting that shit on TMZ. Right. You feel me? But I ain't come there for that. I came on some shit like, so when I go back there in the VIP section where all the so-called rich niggas be, you know, they only got exclusive you know, rights to go back there. Right. I go back there too, cause I know the owner. Right. So I see Jeezy. He over there in the cut, you know, sipping champagne and, you know, living a good life. So I'm like, damn, this is okay, cool. So I push up. I'm like, what's up, man? Boom, he stabbed me up. Man, what up, bro? So boom. So he was talking to somebody. Right. So I'm, you know, paying my respects and letting him finish the conversation he was having. So I sit there for like 15, 20 minutes just on some humble shit. Letting him, you know, talk. So I was really trying to get up out of there. So I look at my watch. I'm like, man, this nigga done let me sign him for 20 minutes. Oh, this trauma. So his security was there. Yeah. So one of them was talking to me like, man, man, you see that acting funny, man. He trying to avoid you. He ain't trying to talk to you, bro. I'm like, oh, yeah? I said, okay, well, check this out. So I tapped him on the shoulder, not Jeezy, he was talking to.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, give me 1 minute, big dog. I said, hey, bro, let me holler at you. Just give me like 2 or 3 minutes of your time, and I'm finna get up out of here. Nigga tell me, he say,
He's brought down after a short game.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
and I'm finna get up out of here. Nigga tell me, he say, man, we talking big business over here, bro. This big business. I said, hold up. So you telling me my $50 ain't big business? Bro, this big business. Bro, I forgot this was Mr. Trapper Doc. I forgot this was Young Jeezy, the rapper. All that shit went out the door. I immediately blanked the out. So you telling me my $50,000 ain't big business? I work hard and take real risks for my shit. Ain't no one in hell I'm finna let no play with me. I don't give a who in. So get what I do. He was drinking out of the cup he was drinking out of. I grabbed him champagne cup, threw the look in his face and slapped the shit out of him. Bitch. He couldn't believe it. I know soon as he felt that shit, I said, man, this nigga Milk still on that bullshit, man. This still don't give a f. And so all the scuffles and shit, all this shit, cause the security, you know, all this shit. He up to 5 in the club.
Oh,
Jeezy.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't, you know, I ain't even know. I ain't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cause you know, truthfully, I was by myself.
Right.
And I ain't finna let no try me in no kind
So
of
you
way.
don't think that was like a little bit of a crash out mission, just to go?
I'm gonna crash out.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna crash out by my shit.
Gotcha.
My nigga, I did 17 and a half in prison amongst killer gorillas, rapists, and
Yo, so you just standing on straight
and
principle.
the nigga ain't never took from me, man.
Right.
Nigga ain't never took a Roman noodle soup from me. So what the f I look like letting in the free world take anything from me, man. Yeah, it was a crash course. But I'm telling you, I blanked out. I ain't even know.
Right.
I still got that making prison mentality.
Right.
Like when nigga put me in a box or don't.
Right.
If you ain't ready to put me in no box, homie, don't. Cause I ain't no industry.
Yeah.
You know the industry. They feel like they can do anything to it, as long as they got their security and their crew, ain't shit gonna happen to them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm not of that mentality, and I don't give a f about. I'm talking about they gonna blackball me. I don't give a f. I never got no money out of the industry. I mean, out of the industry. So my money always came from the streets. So you can't blackball the street.
Right.
You feel me?
It's harder. I feel like it's way harder to blackball now with all these independent platforms. Because before it was like, you can't go on nothing. Now, got the independent.
Yeah, my team was like, man, man, Jeezy. Nigga, Jeezy pay my motherfucking money. Nigga, I ain't letting no play with me.
So it's basically like, because I was thinking like, you know how like you got a partner and you could have, it could be, but because y'all got some type of love, it could always get back somehow. So are you saying that this is just way too far, or is it just a misunderstanding?
Now, what I mean by that is this, man. I'm not gonna let no play with me.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I don't hate the homie. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no shit like that. It just at that particular moment, homie, you disrespected me and my paper.
Right.
If Jeezy would have been like, man, we gonna just chill, we gonna get to it, I got you, bro. You know, I would have kept it moving.
Right.
It would have gave me some type of hope. It would have been like some type of respect.
Yeah.
That at least he respected my money.
Thanks.
He never had to pay me a day in his life. But don't make it blatant. Don't make it a blatant you about my paper.
Why do you feel like he came at it that way? It seems kind of wild to like, because it seemed like y'all was on the same page. It just seemed like he just went left for no reason.
Because fame, money and fame, man, it's a dangerous drug. It's a dangerous combination. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard Jay-Z say in a song one time, he said, man, I have to cut myself just to make sure that I still bleed. Because you got so many people around praising you. Anything you say and do, they yes man and they going to get your water. You can't do no wrong and people admire you and idolize you and you begin to feel like you God. it give you a God-type feel. I heard Kanye West say that.
God complex for sure.
Yeah, you get that God complex, man. And these niggas have that God complex the way they feel like a lot of the laws of the streets and a lot of the laws of life don't apply to them no more.
Right.
They feel like they can do and say anything to anybody, and it's cool because I'm such and such. Until it happened to them. And then they realize,
With the wrong person.
yeah. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy, bro. It just, like, you know, you being who you are, right? You know, you experienced that. You know, you go live. Again, that's how we all find out about it. Did you get any backlash from going live? Or, like, what was the responses from you going live? Because I'm sure y'all got mutual friends. You know what I mean?
I mean, truthfully, I got a bunch of, because I'm not an internet.
Exactly.
I just did that shit
Because you were frustrated, probably, like.
I did it. I don't go to the, I didn't do that out of frustration. I'm not going to say that.
Right.
I did that strategically because I'm not an internet. I do a lot of shit that'll never be in the internet. I never could put it on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, Jeezy mentioned me in the song. He was talking about, you know, I was a serial killer. Like, this is what the streets talked about. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's true. But these niggas know what it is with me.
Right.
So, I did that, like I said, though, on some strategic. I said to myself, if I can't get them, this ain't gonna pay my money. I'm gonna get my money out of blogs. You know what I'm saying? So, calling me like, bro, why you went to the internet? It ain't happening if it ain't on the internet. You know what I mean? You know how much I done out here that ain't on the internet, don't even know what happened. If knew my real life, my real legacy, if that was on the internet, it ain't happening if it ain't happening. If it ain't recorded, it ain't happening.
Right. Do you feel like that's why so many of the young are actually rapping about it, like, you know, word for word, like you see King Von and shit, they was bragging about it. So
yeah, I think they doing this on some reckless shit, though.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? They just really think it's okay until they end up in court.
Right.
They be using those lyrics against them. You see what I'm saying? With me, I did it on some strategic shit. Right. Knowing it ain't no murder. Right. Knowing it's just a and then play with my money. You know what I'm saying? So since you want to play with money, now I'm finna let the world know that you play with a lot of money. And everybody know this though. Like
that's the word around town.
I mean, everybody who he didn't deal with, anybody. I can call a million, you know what I'm saying, names. I ain't gonna be name dropping. But everybody know that play games like that. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't know that because I was in prison.
So you were vouching for him, not even realizing.
Yeah, I'm out here vouching for the homie. I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, speaking up for the homie. Like on the night of the Gucci situation,
right?
Person, I'm the first nigga he called.
What'd he say?
Me and my crew, he wanted to come stand there and come rock with it.
Oh, for the verses, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So me and him, after the verses, we go to the compound. You know what I'm saying? We standing up. He got me standing up there with him. Cause you know, I'm the face of the streets, like in real life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he got me standing up with him, you know, Gucci and Pusha, all these young over here, and they mean mugging me.
So was that real? Because we couldn't figure out how that even went down. We talking about somebody who allegedly murdered somebody who sent somebody after him. So we all looking like, when they announced that, we was like, no way.
But see, it go to show you how to be for real. Like, be willing to sit down with who really don't, you know, when it's a matter of money.
Right.
When you can benefit from it. When it's beneficial to your career or what you got going on. A got a real big name. But you ain't willing to sit down with a like Kiki B. You know, who you done ran out with his $5 million, and who actually y'all started
$5 million.
Y'all started CTE together. This your who ain't did that with you. You ain't willing to sit down with these type of, you know what I'm saying, who ain't did you no harm, no wrong, but you willing to sit down and benefit from somebody who they murdered one of your partners. And on the stage disrespecting you like, yeah, we smoking on such and such.
Crazy.
Yeah, but you can take that. That's okay with you, but you can't, you know what I'm saying, be a man enough to come to the table. You can rectify with your past in that way, but you can't come fuck with like Gold King, you know, like Carbon 15, who you done played and ran off with they shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's industry shit.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, and it's crazy because we had another CT, was it Blood Raw? Like, everybody has something to say about, like, the fallout of Jeezy. And it's crazy because, like, I don't think the general public even really knows a lot. Like, some of these don't make it to a certain level, like a shade room or something. So a lot of people, when they see you got up on Jeezy, probably was like, damn, what? They probably find out all this shit that's going on now.
That's what the Blood Raws want to do.
Right.
That's what the Kinky Bees want to do.
Right.
That's what the Carbon 15s want to do. That's what the Slick Puller, that's what all these want to do. But they be like, nah, we gonna let that shit go, man. That dog, he just, I'm not letting it go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slap the Gumu Molly out that nigga play with me on. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, like, I was cut, and dude know this about me.
Right.
Dude know this about me. In the streets, when he got in the street, beef in the streets and making, when he came and got me every time. It never failed.
Yeah.
And he respect me. Because I'm a real deal, real life individual. And I don't claim to be hard.
Right.
Because any nigga can be touched.
For sure.
But I'm going to always stand up for myself, and I'm going to stand on business when it comes to standing up for myself. You feel me?
Now, you got a song you just debuted. What we doing?
Yeah.
Tell us about, we're going to talk to this song, and then we're going to take it back to the backstory because you got an interesting backstory. Let's talk about the song that you got. Can we put a little bit out there, like what's going on? Okay, so you have a new song that's coming out on your album called What We Doing. Shed some light on that song that you put out.
Yeah, so the album, I mean the song What We Doing, it's a song, you know, in reference to the Jeezy situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody on the internet was saying I was clout chasing, you know, trying to just create a narrative about a legend,
right,
about, you know, about Jeezy, whatever. But in the song, you know, I address the situation, like, you know what I'm saying? Like what we doing? Like, I went to the club. I ain't go to the club for that.
Right.
I came, you know, I just came to the club and just so happened to bump into you. I was by myself. I wasn't with all the fam goon. I wasn't with the ops. I wasn't with all the bros. Now, if I came to the club to do something with you with to you with 100, and that's some sucker shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I came by myself just trying to get an understanding about my paper. And that's what the song is about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Addressing the clout chasing, you know, addressing the fact that, homie, I ain't want to put hands on you. Your arrogance made me put hands on you.
Right.
You feel me? And you know that I would put hands on you, but I think the money and the fame gave you the God complex, so you forgot that I've been putting hands on niggas my whole life.
Oh, man.
You feel me?
Yeah, that's a hit. The only question I have is, right, because we went through 4 tracks, you went 4 for 4.
Yeah.
That song is a hit. Why not have a video? Like, I feel like things are just time of the essence, right? It's like, I feel like had you dropped that and then next thing you know that video came out, I feel like that would have been phew. So why not just apply the pressure now?
I'm about to do it now, but it'll show you that shows you that nothing that I did was staged.
Right.
Because had that shit been staged, nigga, I would have been dropping that video and that shit the next day. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So that just show you that the shit wasn't staged at all.
Right.
Like, I'm just really on some real nigga shit. Like, I dropped the record in relation to that situation so the people get an understanding about what happened because I am an artist.
Yeah.
I always been an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went to prison for a long time, but I'm an artist and I need to be recognized and respected as such. You feel me?
Right.
But you gotta let the industry know and the world know that you're gonna stand on business when it comes time to standing on business. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
Because if not, they'll take advantage of you. They'll push you and push you and push you. Man. This ain't that type of situation over here. You feel me?
Straight up. So, going backwards to the childhood, right? So, in my notes it says that you dropped out of school in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How does that happen?
I mean, 6th grade. Like my mom and my dad, you know what I'm saying? My dad was in prison. My mama, you know, she was strung out on drugs. I don't really want to make no real statement towards her because she just died recently.
Damn.
But,
Rest in peace, Chris.
Yeah. So mama, she just was lost at some point.
Right.
And I used to go to school with holes in my shoes, you know, and I ain't feel right, you know, wasn't laughing or picking on me or nothing like that because they know I would have beat them up. But I just didn't feel right going to school at that age, and I felt like I had got into the drug game at a young age. I was a lookout boy on the corner.
What age did that start?
well, you know what I'm saying, around the end of 5th grade, 6th grade. But I became a full-time lookout boy, you know what I'm saying, in the 6th grade. While the older OGs used to be selling work, I used to be walking around on the corners looking out for the police. Police car, something like that, something that looked like a police car. I get on a walkie-talkie, and I'd be like 12 of them, you know what I'm saying, one time, you know what I'm saying? So they paid me $20 off the 100 every time they made, every time they made $100, they give me $20.
20% is...
Stay out there and look out, you know what I'm saying?
So, like, what was the craziest amount you made in one day?
One day?
Yeah.
I probably made like $160. I ain't made no crazy.
That's 13, 14, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying, $160. But that was a lot of money to me.
Yeah.
Some days, some weekends, I used to make $220. That was enough for me to, put a little food in the fridge for my sister them and, get some new shoes or next time shoes on my other sister. Just to try to be a man in the household. So after that, I started stealing bombs and shit from a lot of the other dealers. If they hired me to be a lookout boy, when I seen them put they dope down, I creep over there and I steal they dope out the bushes. You know what I'm saying?
You already knew what time it was.
Yeah, so when I take it to my mama, she'll help me get off this through her friends, and she used to come smoke with her. Yeah. So that's how I got started in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like, moving work and, just beginning to make money in the drug game.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? Because a lot of the cats that I know, that's really entrenched in the street, they all have the same type story. Like, they really start real young. You know what I'm saying? And when you start seeing some of these cats now, it's like they take it to a whole different level of violence and all that. Do you think a lot of that stems from the parents, to just the foundation? Like, do you feel like if you had a different foundation, your life would have went different?
Nah, honestly, man, I think that shit stemmed from the music.
So now, from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Now Jackson. This is intercepted.
All these major chairmen and record labels got together, and they said they wasn't promoting no more positive music. Back before then, you had the Queen Latifah, all these different records, the MC Lights, the KRS-One, they was dropping knowledge to
Public Enemy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But what happened during that era, they came and said, you know what? We didn't invest billions of dollars inside the United States private prison industry. So what we need to do, we need to put out more gangster, more violent, more negative content and music, so we can influence the generation, the black generation, to gang bang.
Yeah.
So you seen the color movement.
Yeah.
You seen the Minister to the Side. What the you say about my mama, niggas shoot? The NWA came out. Gangster. Ice-T, cop killer. So they started promoting the negative and violent music, because they understand that music influences the people.
Yes.
In an unprecedented manner. So they started, pushing the music. And anything that was positive, they stopped giving it airtime. It wasn't making the radio stations no more. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't with that. The labels was only pushing violence. They was trying to increase the crime rate.
You being an intelligent black man, because I can tell you well read, we're going to touch on that too. What do you think the end game is for them people, for the people that's doing this to us? Do you think they just want to eradicate us in general, or do you feel like... I always ask myself that question. Damn, they set up the system for us to fail, but why?
It's about population control. And it's about maintaining control and power over the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're pushing towards the New World Order.
Right.
That's why over here in America, you got so many different ingredients inside of foods and tater chips and snacks that is banned in other countries. Yeah. They put all these different strychnine dyes and all these different genetic modified organisms and all these different dyes in food
that's killing us.
That causes cancer, that causes diabetes, that causes high cholesterol and all these other situations that create illnesses, so we can die, so we can continue to die out, so they can do what they call population control. Right. And that was you know what I'm saying? And I ain't I ain't gonna name drop.
Right.
But you look at all the successful artists nowadays.
Yeah.
They all talking about slime.
All talking about slime.
They all
Even
talking
niggas that
about
ain't
killing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that the label's pushing.
Right.
They pushing the slime. They pushing the killing. That's why they fight Nas and, you know, fight J. Cole and all these different type of people. They really don't have a chance.
Right.
Because it make them want to quit. Because they ain't trying to push. The labels ain't pushing they to the radio.
It's crazy.
They pushing the out on the biz, and they pushing degrading the women. You know, anything that degrades the black woman, anything that's popping, anything that's killing, anything that's doing everything wrong that can help kill us off and put us in the penitentiary. That's what they push.
Now, you know, you did get locked team, and you end up going in. What was the charge you pushed? Now, you know, you did get locked up early.
Yeah.
Was it 13?
Yeah.
13, and you end up going in. What was the charge that you went in for?
I was facing a double homicide.
Double homicide. At 13.
Yeah.
So when you go in the system, right? They don't put you up against the adults, or do they? Were you facing like an adult charge?
Yeah, I was tried as I was being tried as an adult.
So for you at 13, like, what's got to be? Because, you know, they always say that little boys definitely, I forget what the term is, but where you're seeing something that happened in real time, but it's not really processing that I'm facing double life, you know what I'm saying, or whatever I'm facing. Did you go through that? Was it like?
Yeah, I mean, during that time, I would have been facing the death penalty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was young, you know what I'm saying? And I was going through the situation. I ended up going to the YDC in Millersville, you know what I'm saying, youth prison.
Yeah.
And I got out around the age of 15. You know what I'm saying? For robberies and kidnapping and kick those and shit. You know, back then I had specialized in kicking in those and shit. So since they couldn't pin the double homicide on me, they went ahead and got me out of the way for home invasion robbery. So I ended up serving like 22 months and shit like that.
Yeah.
In a youth prison. And when I got out of prison, that's when I met Jeezy. So I had to be like, 50 going on 15.
Gotcha.
That's when we linked up and we started doing the rap shit together.
Got you. So that's why the bond was so special.
Yeah, it's supposed to have been special. Right? But nowadays I learned, man, like, industry and most people, they only concerned about a viral moment. They only care about money and clout, money and fame.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody else, nothing else in the world really matters to them. Not even their own mothers and brothers and shit. That shit don't even matter to them. All they want is the money. Right? And you hear these songs saying they'll give anything to get such and such back. But when such and such was here,
you ain't.
Regrow your hair with this hat. Hemp's finasteride and minoxidil plus supplement blend chew with ingredients that have been
oh, you ain't do shit for such and such. Such and such needed medication. You ain't pay for no medication. You know what I'm saying?
Whole lot of extra muscle over there on the left side for this 1st and 10.
Keep them guessing, offense!
They'll go play action here with Allen. Oh, that swung out wide and intercepted. Picked off by Juju Brents.
All right, Mike, you know me. I tend to be an offensive guy, so if we're taking a big shot to start this half, I'm thinking touchdown. But rather, we go interception to begin the second half. Now, still an exciting play. I think we're going to see both sides willing to continue to take these risks, take these chances throughout the rest of this second half.
And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down. Lamar forward to the pistol. And this one is picked off. It's Juju Brents. Into space. Inside the 20. And he's going to bring this one defense in a tie game. Not only do they come up with the turnover, Greg, they score the touchdown and take the lead.
And that's just a mistake, Mike, at this point in the game that you just cannot make on offense. You find yourself in a game that could go either way, and you just gift wrap the opposing team a chance to take it back the other way and take the lead.
The extra point, up and good. And the Dolphins will move out to a 14-7 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. That's fielded just shy of the goal line. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Now it's Jackson. His throw on 1st down is going to be incomplete.
I think all of us up here in the booth were curious, how is this quarterback going to bounce back following the pick 6? And a lot of guys come back and they're very conservative and they just want to dink and dunk because they're scared to throw another pick. Well, we found out pretty quickly. Not this guy. He's going to continue to attack the ball downfield, and he's looking to make big plays any chance he gets.
Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. 17 yards on that connection. 1st down, Vegas.
Talk about a thing of beauty. Mike, did you see how many tight ends were on the field on that last play? They call it 13 personnel because there's 1 running back, 3 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. So everybody on defense is thinking run. They catch them off guard a little with the pass, and they take advantage of it with a big gain downfield.
Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
I think at some point for this quarterback, he has to start looking some other directions. I mean, he's tried to get the ball now to this guy multiple times, and all of them have resulted in incomplete passes. I'm not saying don't throw it to him in the future, but maybe get yourself a couple easy completions elsewhere before you look back in his direction.
And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
He'll manage to get 2, maybe 3 on that carry. Christian Gonzalez comes in for the tackle. They face 2nd down and 7. Throwing Jackson. It's a short one. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
Forward, 1st and 10. Now, Jackson. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Here's Jackson. The pressure, too much. And he goes down.
Defense came out in a soft zone. I think they caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, He ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get to the backfield and put it back.
That's caught outside. It's complete. Out of bounds, but in business. They mark him down near the 2. What a letdown for the defense. They allow a conversion on 3rd and 16. Now it is 1st and goal. So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. We've come to the end of the 3rd quarter. This is Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Before they're thinking about the decision after the touchdown, since they're down 7. But first, they've got to get the TD. It is 1st down and goal. Over there, fullback trying to get it. Good blocking, and he's in. Touchdown, Vegas. So they're not level yet. A critical extra point attempt to follow. The kick is good, and that will tie this game here in the 4th quarter. All even. 4th quarter, everything we've wanted. What's in store in the remaining time? And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. They'll begin here on the ground. Steady works his way through an opening. Up past the 35. Nice run for 8 on the
But it ain't like that. I hear they call it finessing. They tell you what they want, what you want to hear, and you never see them no more. And then when you run into them, then it's pressure. So out here, it ain't no real honor. You know what I'm saying? Versus in the penitentiary, because they know what happened to them and them. Can't run around. There ain't no world where you can just, evade and, you know what I'm saying? You over here and got in California today and you in Philly tomorrow. Nah, you in that confined environment. And you know you're going to stand on business. So I brought that type of mentality out here with me, thinking that that's what it was. And when I came in the game, they ain't take pictures. They put all their business on the internet. That shit new to me still.
It's different, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I seen Bro Rollo. He used to tell me like, "Go look, man, the money is in front of the camera. If you gonna get some more money, you gotta be in front of the camera nowadays."
You ain't lying.
And so I was like, not used to that shit, camera shy, like, afraid to just be on the camera. But these people, they do that shit, they get money off this. Like, this is where the YouTube checks come from. This is where the Instagram checks come from.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I gotta try to, get out of my old ways and kind of, get with this new shit and get in front of the camera.
You being from the streets, like, what are some things that you don't feel like, because you start seeing, like,
fuck Wet 100.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
talk about it. Why?
Nah, when the Jesus situation popped off,
Okay.
He did his little review.
Okay.
And, first of all, they don't know me. Right. You know what I'm saying? And he went to talking all crazy, talking about I'm Rollo Dubois, some lame like that. Don't even know me. I don't even play them kind of game. I never in my life been a Dubois. Never. Won't even try me like that. No, in America. You know what I'm saying? So Whack 100 went and running his mouth. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that me and Rollo, we are business partners. You know what I'm saying? We was business partners. We are equal. Rollo don't tell me what to do. I don't tell Rollo what to do. But we can't advise each other on what best approach to take on different situations.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But do you not look at let's say, whack ass from the streets that's just doing like hot side, like you know how like barbershop talk, like you know, if we cut the cameras off, really get to how niggas really feel.
Yeah.
He just does it in the public with no giving, if that makes any sense.
I mean, yeah, he do it in the public, but you know,
Because he threw you the alley-oop for real.
it's consequences to doing in the public, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Versus, I mean, for one, I'm not gonna. It's certain I ain't gonna speak on.
Right.
I ain't gonna call no gay.
Right.
I ain't gonna call no nigga no snitch. I ain't gonna call no nigga, especially if I don't know them.
Right.
I'm gonna give a nigga the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna be like, you know, allegedly this happened. I don't really know the home situation or what it is.
Right.
But this is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be more neutral, right, in this situation. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, this nigga gold mouth, he's a lame, ill water boy for another. How I'm gonna speak like that and I'm supposed to be a real nigga?
Right. So that's what I'm asking. What are the boundaries do you feel like a person should set when they doing this podcast? Because podcasting is a thing now. You see a lot of street podcasting. You know what I'm saying?
Forgot on him. You know what I'm saying? So
Out front and take the lead here in the fourth quarter. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. This will be taken in at the 2. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And they will finally track him down, but not before he takes this to the other side of midfield.
And what a response that is right there. I mean, you just gave up the lead on a field goal. But now you come around and you give your offense a huge boost. You give them a short field. And that's a return that will not go unnoticed in the building this week. And that is huge. Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off.
Try to, you know, for a little clout. And that ain't what real street do. Right. When I slapped this out Jeezy, I did that because that owed me paper.
Right.
I ain't do that just to try to, you know what I'm saying?
No clout shit.
Yeah, just to try to throw a name around or play with a name or try to get no more clout off that shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when the whack go to talking about my name, I'm going to speak on that shit.
Right.
So whenever mention whack 100 to me, until we have a conversation, it's fuck whack 100.
Yeah.
And get your paperwork right, nigga.
All right, so let me ask you this. Top 3 wackest in Atlanta. See? You see how easy it is to get to? But if the camera was on.
How the f*** you gonna ask the top 3 wackest?
Hey, I just want to see if he's gonna answer.
Who the fuck? Shit. Most of all them, I mean, a lot of whack. You know what I'm saying? You guys, a lot of whack.
So who do you respect, like, as far as, like, music? Like, who do you jam? Like, who are you riding around listening to?
Be honest with you, I ride around.
Offense to go with the ball.
Be real, but I respect a lot of the homies in the music industry, man. I love what Future them doing, man. You know what I'm saying? I think Future's like.
He's calm. He steps up, takes a deep breath, and he knocks it through to extend this game.
The return team gonna let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll come up for 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. That is incomplete, so the task gets more difficult. Time for maybe 2 plays. That's it.
Just seems like another case of predetermining where the quarterback is going to go with the ball. He had a lot of good route options on that last concept. I think if he just remains a little bit more patient, read the play out, let it unfold, will lead to some easier and better completions.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. He'll take a shot downfield for Kelsey.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
And they can't bring him down. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Second down and 3. He finds his man, complete. It's Gonzalez. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
A give to the game's all-time leader, Emmitt Smith. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on 3rd down. He finds his man, complete. It's Gonzalez. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They go back to the ground now with Smith, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Jackson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. This from 42 yards out. And his kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Going to give it up the middle. Here's Dickerson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it 2nd down and 11. Now it's Jackson. His throw incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. Decision made for Sean McVay. They're going to go for it. They throw it out right complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. Now Allen. Flushed out right. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
What's going on, guys? Coming for this?
Here's 2nd and 10. Inside handoff, Smith. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shot the D and ripped off a pretty big play. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They run up the middle with Emmett. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. On play action, Allen. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. He's got the first down and more than that, and down to the 29-yard line. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a 1st down.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Allen. And it'll be intercepted. And the Rams are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here, 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the 1st half. 3-0 our score as the 2nd half gets underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This is a game, Charles, it's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that 1st half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the 3rd quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Now a 2nd and 6. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 6. Here's Allen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Allen. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The safety Ed Reed there to make the play. Second down and 6 now. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He finds Smith out of the backfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. To the air, Allen. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. That his first catch so far. They held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw, it's Allen. Eluding the pressure right. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 22-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Allen gonna throw. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And their three-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a three-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the fourth. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. We say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Allen.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
They'll try and run for it with Evan. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation. Kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play, close things down inside.
And it's caught on the right side of Smith. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. A big play here, 3rd and 2. Here's Allen. That is caught, and he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Allen on 2nd down. Here's Smith again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
Oh, it's some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Miami, so long, everybody.
Not headed to the airport for this one. One more day here will suit me just fine.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. And able to get this out to the 25. Throwing to start the drive. Poe. Dancing to his left. And his first pass is incomplete.
And that's the knowledge he gained from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun. Poe escaping the pressure right. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 26 and a first down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Ball tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Paul Krause.
And after I did the Hillbilly show out there in California, things have been very, very strange. This is my proof that there's a conspiracy. Because, you know, throughout history, you know, my reign of terror on weirdos is solidified. You know, I might have been, you know, firearms may have been pointed at certain people for doing funny things. You know what I'm saying? But that right there is just complete nonsense. Like, they don't got their facts right. Like,
get this one across the 30-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
That right there, that's weird. That's not how all of that took place. I never worked for the Zest Monster, man, not one time. Not one time I ever worked for dude. I never got no check from him. You feel me? But that African dude that be with him, that bald head dude, he ain't no joke. You can't play with him. He hit me in the head with Bob. He a problem. So, you know, the dude have to come out with him, you know.
Because people question kind of, you know, your history about, you know, Diddy.
Right.
You have been, as far as around people who's been around him, you have been around situations where people maybe were about to go either meet him, go to a party, do something. How far in the vicinity were you from as far as the party, just, you know, studio, just being in the mix of what he is?
Yeah, so I only seen the guy as I'm being the protection for somebody that attended the event. You know, as far as getting close to him, yeah, I could have reached out and slapped him if I wanted to. You feel me? Like, very that close. Like, I never, ever did business with him. So, like, I have seen him several times because the who's who, that they run in certain crowds. You feel me? Like, the first part of his parties be cool. It'd be a normal, socializing mixer. It's the different layer of the party when things start to get murky. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, that type of stuff I wasn't involved in. When the vampires start walking in, you know what I'm saying, like the white gal with the sticky hair, and you know, the male sex workers, you know, cakes when they start getting touched, I'm going to the car now. You know what I'm saying? Call me if it's dangerous. You know, I'll come in and start demonstrating. Underneath that, because you know, he ain't no pushover. He a tough cake toucher. You feel me? Like, he get on some gangster shit with you. You didn't want to, you feel me? He a little physical. It's like, man, hold on, dude.
Just tough cake toucher.
He's a
Wow.
tough cake toucher on one brand. He is.
Did you ever run into Chopper City?
Look, I can still see that 6'6" on his jersey and him rattling running backs and getting after quarterbacks. He used to wrap his forearms up, and he just hit the big flipper and come up and thump people in the chest. He was an absolute marvel playing in the linebacker position, especially right there in the middle. A Hall of Famer in 1978, and deservedly so.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Allen. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it with an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Smith is into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. So important in this league to capitalize on the other team's mistakes. And here they force the turnover on the opening drive, then come right down and score.
And I would add that it's important to capitalize on other teams' mistakes early. That way, you build confidence for yourself and your team. You start playing a little more freely. And you let the other guys know we're prepared to play.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. Breaks through the contact. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Poe. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Pat Tillman. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 41. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Allen off the play fake. That's complete to Smith. Oh, he's got a little delay. And he's got a 1st down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. This is the Madden Championship Series from USAA Stadium. As the official salute to service partner of Madden and the NFL, USAA is proud to serve the military community and their families. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And with a well-placed kickoff, that's what these new rules can do for you, as he'll be backed up to start this drive.
That return, it will not be on the postseason highlight reel. If you're the offensive coordinator, you've just changed your play calling because you thought you might have some field to work with. Instead, now, you've got to call plays that won't make mistakes.
In his own end zone, it's Manning. Complete to Jones. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 32-yard line now, here's second down and 1. The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. Down the left sideline. He may go. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. It's a sneak, MADDEN, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Vikings put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
Make us happy. Get these 3 points. Make that kid.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Solo 3 puntos, muchachos.
Talk about a chip shot.
Come on, 3 more points.
You can make that to sleep. Please, we need it.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Kick in. Make that tip. You can make that in his sleep.